Let's talk about Alienware. It's your boy Serge. So what makes this laptop awesome? Well, for one, it's a gaming laptop. It's really affordable and has a really nice build, and overall just really good hardware specifications so you can play all your favorite games. In this review, I'm going to talk about the design and the overall build quality of the laptop, and as well as doing a gaming test, a 10 to 15 minute demo that will demonstrate the gaming capabilities of this laptop. I'll be playing all your favorite games, and hopefully I'll be doing a part 2 where I'll be doing games that you guys want me to test. So if there's a game you want me to test, leave a comment down below and we'll go ahead and get that tested for you guys. The thing that'll make this review different as opposed to other reviews is that normally people either only focus on just a simple review of the laptop's design and a simple hardware overview, and that's it. I go in depth with the design, and then I also go in depth with a gaming test of many different games. So I hope you stick around. Let's find out what makes this laptop awesome. Alright, there it is. I really like that front design, especially this little alien on the front there. Kind of a cool thing. Oh god, what is this thing? Oh my god, look at it. It's so ugly. What were they thinking when they designed this? Okay, well, as long as it works, that's all that really matters. But it seriously looks like something from like a cheap Chinese manufacturer. It's terrible. I hate the way this thing looks. At least they give you a strap though for some cord management, which is quite nice. We have a little pamphlet here. Let's take a look inside. Oh, what do you know? They're talking about innovation and quality, huh? Okay. Well, what the hell do you call this? This is shit. This is terrible. You guys need to make better charging cords. The MacBook Air charging cords have been around for 4 or 5 years now, and they're still freaking better than this. It's a disgrace. Got here warranty safety information, don't need that. A little startup guide, it's kind of useful. Take a look at it. Alright, let's take a look at the device. So all in all, it's a pretty plastic build. So it's probably the most premium plastic you'll find. You got the Alienware logo on the top. And you try to open it with one hand, you're just not going to be able to. It's stupid. I don't know why they haven't adopted the one finger openability. It's really dumb that manufacturers haven't adopted this yet. It's been around for so many years now. It's a technical problem that they haven't fixed. Or I guess they think that gamers don't care about that. Here we're looking at the hinge. The hinge seems pretty sturdy. I kind of like it. We have this rubberized carbon fiber-like feeling. The rubber plastic on here feels really nice and premium. Something that you'll notice about this laptop are the edges, how they're kind of snipped off there. It makes it look really, really nice and sharp. Overall, they've made major strides in their design. They used to look so ugly. Now they actually look really nice. When laptops close and you try to shake it, you don't hear any rattling, and overall it's fairly sturdy. I mean, it's probably due to the sheer thickness and weight of the laptop, but overall this is the best plastic laptop I've ever seen. It feels very sturdy. All in all, it's probably better that it's plastic, heat-wise at least. We've got some rubber feet. The screws on here can actually be unscrewed so you can upgrade the machine, which I think is a really nice touch. Gamers really like to upgrade their hardware, so this will allow them to do so. On the side there you have the speaker. Some more feet. Man, it looks sweet. This thing looks really nice. Alright, let's pop this open and take a look at the hardware. You're going to be able to upgrade the RAM and the hard drive, and I highly recommend you upgrade the hard drive because it's a slow 5400 RPM. In this particular model, I have the i7, and I also have the GT 965M with 4GB. All in all, they give you a decent amount of ports: Ethernet, USB, Thunderbolt, USB-C, and you also have your graphics amplifier port and an HDMI connection. The graphics amplifier, you can connect an additional video card to get more performance. I think it's a really sweet idea. We got your audio inputs, USB, and a power plug. The OLED screen on here is actually very impressive. I forgot how nice these screens were. We have a trackpad that's very large, but actually has a very strong textured grip to it, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense since most trackpads are now glass-based. and allow you to easily move your finger. This was definitely a step in the wrong direction. I think they're following the old motto for trackpads. They think the gamers don't care about them. The power LED glows and can be changed to oscillate between different colors. I think it looks excellent. So if you're a gamer, one of the most important things is having a pretty good keyboard. Something I noticed about the keyboard on here is that it's like the old school keyboard. It feels semi-mushy, but it actually has a good amount of key travel. I have noticed from time to time though, type my message all the way because the click didn't register. But I think in time this will pass once you get used to this specific type of keyboard, because it's not chiclet. It's different, it's completely different. Overall though, while gaming, I think it's actually a pretty good keyboard. So Alienware has created this special software that allows you to tweak the colors in different areas of the keyboard. You can make them oscillate, you can make them glow, pulsate, that kind of thing. It's actually a pretty neat piece of software. Select the region you want to change, pick the color, pick the setting, and there you have it. At night, it's much more visible than during the day. So if you pick two opposing colors in between the block connection, it actually merges the two colors and creates more of a fluid color transition. Yeah, they did a really nice job with this keyboard actually. I think it's a great touch to add some color control. I also modified the LED accents on the back to glow red as opposed to just being blue. We've got a 720p camera on the front there. Nothing special, but at least it works. One thing I noticed about the screen is that it's got some crazy glare to it. That's something I really didn't like, but again, you have to take in the fact that the room I have created is really, really white, so it will reflect quite a bit. Overall though, it does seem to be a little bit more reflective on average than normal. Although the glossy look and feel does kind of make it look a little bit more premium. I guess it would be easier if it was just matte, but then again, I think it looks nicer this way. Alright, so let's talk about heat output while gaming. Overall, this thing is going to get hot. There's no way around it. I mean, thank goodness it's made from plastic, because if it was a MacBook, this thing would freaking burn you. So the two vents shoot out a crazy amount of heat at about 120 Fahrenheit. It's crazy to think. It's a thick laptop, but it's packing some serious power, so I totally don't mind. Here's my current setup. I got my 2 terabyte hard drive plugged in. It's literally full of games. Steam, Battle.net, Minecraft. We got pretty much every game on there. Let's take a look and see how the latest games run on this particular laptop. I wanted to let you guys know that if you wanted me to test any specific games, leave a comment down below and we'll take a look and see if I can create a video for you guys. Overall, League of Legends ran really, really well. I was able to max out the graphics completely. Max resolution, 2560 by 1440. You got the ultra textures. Everything just looks and feels great while gaming. Check it out. I was trying to ambush these guys and they actually ambushed me instead. Oh my god. Such a baddie. I did win about 4 games in a row, but then this particular game I ended up losing. Damn, that sucks. Alright, let's play some Counter-Strike, my other favorite game. We actually didn't have any issues with Counter-Strike either. You can run the game on max graphics and enjoy it. With pretty high frame rate. You're going to get anywhere from 60 to 100 frames depending on where you're at. I did try to tweak the graphics a bit to see if I could change the FPS, but actually it didn't really matter what graphical setting I put it on. Regardless, it ran flawless. You have to keep in mind though, Counter-Strike is a very well optimized game. Counter-Strike and League of Legends are both the most popular games in the world, so they're designed to run on any system. The other thing I wanted to tell you guys was that the speakers on the side, while they look kind of big, they actually performed pretty bad. They sounded extremely tinny. Keep that in mind if you're looking for good speakers. Alright, let's play some Fallout 4. I have all the graphics set on max. We have ultra everything except anti-aliasing. This is the game that I was a little bit disappointed of. Like, here we're getting only about 20 to 30 FPS, which is really kind of surprising. I figured with 4 gigabytes of VRAM that I could run anything I wanted, but turns out you can't. Turn the graphics down to high and you're looking at maybe only 5 extra FPS. So from 30 to 35, sometimes 40. If you want to run this game on high graphics, you're going to need to turn the resolution down to 1440 by 900, and you should be able to play it with like 40 FPS and still maintain the high settings. If you want to play high resolution like 1920 by 1080, you're going to have to put the graphics on medium and it should run pretty good. Again guys, let me know if you want me to do a part 2, because if I get enough people asking me to do it, I'll definitely do it for you guys. Here we have another Source game, Dota 2. This game is also pretty popular. Let's see how well it stacks up. Long story short, anything that runs on the Source engine is going to run really, really well because it's super optimized. We were able to max the resolution, max the textures, and everything ran flawless. Now, here's where I ran into some problems. So these games actually ran pretty good. Most of the other games I tested actually ran very, very poorly, like Rust and Ark. Even StarCraft 2, for some reason, just didn't run very good. I really have no clue why that is. If any of you guys have any idea why that is, let me know in the comment section below. Here we're testing World of Warcraft and it's running pretty decent. We have all the graphics maxed. We got the resolution on 1920 by 1080p. Running pretty good. No issues here. I think any WoW players are going to be able to enjoy this game. Full eye candy, no problems whatsoever. May need to turn it down to maybe like high or medium if you're in a super densely populated area. So Minecraft was the other game that I was kind of worried about because sometimes it works good, sometimes it doesn't. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter if you're at 12 chunks or at 36 chunks. The game seems to run at around 25 FPS, sometimes around 30. I have no clue what's going on here. If you guys want to let me know in the comment section below, we can maybe investigate it together and find out what's going on. My theory is that maybe I didn't let the map load all the way, but the thing is, I played this game on the Surface Pro 4, with Iris 540 graphics, and it ran better, which doesn't make any sense because this one has the 965M graphics chip, so it should run pretty good. All in all, I didn't have any particular issues with the game, except for the low FPS, but I think it's still playable. Let me know if you guys want me to test the mods for Minecraft. Like, I know there's different mods that allow you to build more or do more things and have bigger worlds, that kind of thing. So just let me know in the comment section below. Something to note on the side, the OLED screen looks really, really nice, guys. If you have the option to grab the OLED version, definitely do this because it just looks really nice and warm and it just feels a lot better when you're Even on lowest graphics, I started on epic, I tiered my way down to high and then medium, and it's just really disappointing. I literally feel like this game is not playable. One thing you could do if you really wanted, so I got the resolution down to 1440 by 900. If you wanted to play at 1280 by 900 or 800, it should run, but it's just gonna look terrible. Alright, here we are turning the graphics down to medium. See how well it runs. And we're getting about 40 FPS. But there's nothing built here, there's nobody here. Even 30 FPS when you're looking into the deep vegetation. It's a very disappointing performance. Diablo 3 was another story. Take a look at StarCraft 2. So when you're running at 1920 by 1080p and you have the graphics pretty much maxed out, you'll get about 60 FPS. Keep in mind, in this particular test, we're only in the tutorial and the FPS is this low. I was kind of surprised. I really didn't think it would perform this poorly. It makes me think that maybe the thing that's bottlenecking the last couple games we've tested might be the actual CPU and not the GPU itself. Keep in mind, this does have the 15 watt U processor, so even though it's an i7, the 15 watt is one of the weakest ones they offer. You can get 30 watt and 60 watt versions depending on which Alienware laptop you buy. So if you have more money, definitely opt for the more expensive model that'll give you better gaming performance. The last game I tested was Rust. So for whatever reason, Rust ran absolutely terrible. Even at lowest graphics possible, I have 24 frames per second, and even then it wasn't playable at all. I simply cannot believe the ugly power cord they have designed. It's thick, it's bulky, and it looks bad. I don't know why Alienware hasn't adopted the magnetic design that the Apple MacBooks have had for the last close to 5 years. It really doesn't make any sense why manufacturers don't, just put a magnet on their charger, make it anti-trip proof and make it easier to plug in and unplug. Really kind of odd how these laptop manufacturers are just holding on to these old designs that they've had in the past. One of the things you'll notice in this laptop is the keyboard. It's got the old style keyboard. It still works pretty good though, but it's really old. And you guys only get one chance to make a good impression. And then when a person sees that, they're already thinking, oh, a lower quality laptop. I wanted to ask you guys, what particular laptop will you be getting? Personally, I think that the value of the Alienwares is really good. For only $800 to $900 something, they can get you started with a pretty sweet laptop. I think that's awesome. Not a lot of manufacturers can do that. I mean, you have Razer, for instance, but that's like thousands and thousands of dollars. So they're just a lot more expensive and they don't give you as much high specifications. So overall, the main cons that I found with this laptop are one, the speakers, while they appear to be big, are actually really low quality. They get semi-loud, but they're very tinny. I think they may just be the worst speakers I've ever heard. Unfortunately, that is the case. I personally really like Alienware's design and their overall laptop I think is great, but the speakers is just a no-go. They're really, really bad. The trackpad, while it's large, it has a really odd kind of textured grip to it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense especially, I know this is going to sound cliches, but in today's society, when most trackpads are now becoming silky smooth, where you get a little bit more precision tracking, with this Alienware trackpad, it's going to start building up some dirt and dust and grime in there because it has this weird texture in there. So I'm not sure why Alienware did that. Let me know what you guys think about that particular trackpad, because I mean, it works, but I guess most gamers don't really need a good trackpad, which is probably why they kind of kept that specific style. At least it's a big trackpad, so I'm not complaining too much about it. While the glare was actually kind of a big deal, especially in my little filming studio, I don't think it's going to be as bad in real life, in a real life like setting, but I did notice it had a little bit more glare than most laptops that I've reviewed, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure why that is. It might have something to do with the OLED. Overall, the OLED I thought was really nice because the colors are warm, so I did like that a lot. If you're a video editor or you like to use micro SD cards or just SD cards in general, this doesn't have an SD slot, so you're gonna have to get an adapter. It's not that big of a deal, but there is only 2 USB ports, so if you have a external hard drive plugged in and a wireless mouse, now you don't have the ability to plug in your micro or your standard SD in because there's no third USB. I really wish they added that third USB, or at least gave us that micro or standard SD slot so we could utilize things from our camera or from our GoPros, just make it a little bit more simple. When I think of a gaming laptop, I really think of something that's high quality, high specs, high amount of ports, good screen. I really feel like they're giving you a lot here. But in the ports department, I feel like they just were kind of shy, just a little bit. Although you do get that Thunderbolt and the USB-C kind of backwards compatibility, so I guess that kind of does bridge the gap a little bit. As for the keyboard, overall, I thought that the keyboard was positive because I like the extra features they added on there with the color selection tools, and it feels like a very well developed keyboard, but it does have a slight kind of mushiness to it. But I think if you do get used to it, it shouldn't realistically be a problem. The third fatal flaw that I noticed was that 5400 RPM hard drive. I could not believe that they actually put that thing in there. It's just mind-bogglingly just slow because, for instance, I was downloading a game, I was also installing a game, and I was trying to download a third item, you know what I mean? And I just couldn't because it just slowed the hard drive down so much. Boy, was it disappointing. It's like, you open up the laptop box and you see this this little pamphlet that says innovation, and it says really good build quality, and we've stepped up our game and all that stuff. But then I see the 5400 RPM hard drive, or then I see the charger, and I'm just like, guys, you really gotta make things better. Overall, I give this laptop a positive review. It's a great laptop. In fact, it's one of the best gaming capable laptops I've had ever, so it's actually really kind of exciting to be able to play on it and game on it. But even a few games like Rust and Ark Survival ran terrible. StarCraft didn't have the greatest performance. Really not sure why. Could have something to do with those drivers, so I'm hoping maybe with a driver fix or a patch of some sort that they can make it better. But realistically, I'm not counting on it because if it doesn't work out of box, there's a pretty good chance it's probably just not going to work at all. That's how it's always been. And last but not least, the graphics amplifier port. I think this is a pretty good addition because if you have yourself a pretty big monitor, you could get one of these amplifiers and you can give yourself a substantial performance increase. Essentially, you can have yourself a desktop setup at home, and on the go you can use your GeForce 965M. I think it's pretty sweet. I think it's the right move to create this type of expandability. However, it is kind of expensive to implement, so as of now, I would probably stay clear of it. But if you feel like you need the extra performance, I'd say pull the trigger, because right now, the graphics amplifier connection, overall it has the best performance, and even Razer's Core at the moment right now doesn't have the same type of performance. It doesn't give you nearly as much of a performance boost. Thanks for watching this far into the video. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'm going to tell you right now, push that subscribe button. There's a pretty high chance that you are the exact type of viewer I'm trying to target. And I just want to have this, open up for discussion. What kind of laptop are you getting? Which laptops are you considering? What do you have right now? Just leave a comment below and we'll have a discussion. I will be replying to all the comments until the next new model comes out. So in this particular channel, I actually do reply to all the comments. So let's have a discussion. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.